Hi YouTube, it's me, Juju. This is my first YouTube vlog. Um, I'm making this one specifically for the bipolar community. I hope you're out there. I know you're out there actually. I I spent a while watching before I decided to go ahead and make my own vlog. Um, I really couldn't find my niche. Uh, there's a there's a big group of bipolar people out there that really aren't working towards managing their bipolar to try to get to a point where you can function um, in society. I'm just not there yet, unfortunately. um, they talk about doing coke and drinking and all the things I used to do before I was even diagnosed, as a way of self-medicating. And yeah, it didn't really work. Um, and I'll talk more about that in a little while. And then there's this other group that they sound like they're psychiatrists. The way they talk, the terminology they use, and it's like they wear it's like they wear their disease like a badge. And um, although I'm I'm not I still experience these feelings of shame from time to time in certain situations with certain groups of people, but it's not as bad as it used to be. I know it's not my fault. It's not our fault. You know, it's a chemical imbalance. It's just something. It's just our lot. And it's unfortunate, but I'm getting better in regards to the shame. Anyway, so that's why I decided to do a vlog. I couldn't find my niche, and I thought, well, maybe if I go on and tell my story, um, it's not unique, it's not original. Um, it's just like most other people with bipolar. There was abuse, in my childhood, and lots of the things that come with bipolar, the promiscuity. That wasn't actually a bad part of it, but I mean, at least I don't regret it. I had a good time, but it was reckless and dangerous. And there were some periods of you know where I was spending lots of money on things that I didn't need and could not afford, and gambling and drugs, lots and lots of drugs. And although it's very likely that I've been bipolar ever since I was a child, um, in therapy with my psychiatrist, with my therapist, discussing and seeing the pattern and the behavior, the symptoms, throughout most of my life. But about 3 years ago, I had a nervous breakdown, and I didn't know I was having a nervous breakdown. Um, it started out with I had an infection of some kind, but in my mind, it wasn't just an infection. It was, surely it's a tumor. And I was in the pain was horrible. I couldn't stand the pain, and then I was getting headaches, and so of course I had a brain tumor. And I mean, it just became like a hypochondriac to like the nth level. I mean, everything was going wrong with me. I was in horrible pain, and I couldn't eat. I was nauseous. I was dizzy. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And I was spending a lot of time crying, a lot of time in bed. I had left work. I had taken a leave of absence, and I was doing really good at my job. I was in sales, and I fully intended to go back, but it just seemed with each passing day that physically I was getting sicker and sicker and sadder and sadder, and I wasn't bathing, and I could lay in bed for days on end, and finally a doctor said, gee, maybe you need to be on antidepressants. And thank God, there was like this little window of clarity, and thank God I had that. And I thought, well, if she thinks that I need antidepressants, then maybe I should go see a psychiatrist, because what if you hear all those stories about people being misdiagnosed and they're put on the wrong medications. And so I went to see a psychiatrist, and I was in his office for 10 minutes, and he said,